Hello, Senior Stoner fans. It's the real Senior Stoner back at you for your Gpen Rome dab of the day. Good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday. Hello. Well, let's get right to the topic of the day. Frustration. How many of you get frustrated? How many of you are in a frustrating situation? How many of you have frustration? And how many of you have it for very significant things? Let's discuss. Whoever invented the word frustration, it's a shitty word because it puts you on a hamster wheel. It basically says you're going nowhere. It basically says all the effort you've done, all the thinking you've done, all the horsepower you've put forward, everything that you've thrown into it has not worked. Frustration. You're stuck. It's not moving. You're getting no motion out of it. Frustration. You're in circular living, but you're unable to push the top over. You got to get over the top. Okay, so it's frustrating. Whatever your frustration is not good. But it's a human condition. Everyone has it. Now, let me try to explain. And I think I'm going to use this term the right way. When you're young, even a young adolescent, young person, kid, you are frustrated if you can't get your own way. As you get older, to young adulthood, you are frustrated if you can't do things perfectly, let's say. As you get older into adulthood, you are frustrated if all your efforts don't yield a particular result because, you crystallize things as you get older. You put together not just a game plan, but you visualize what that game plan, the results would look like. So if it doesn't hit that, you are frustrated because you are off the mark. And still other situations, no matter what age, could be frustrating because you can't do anything about a situation. If you are marching forward, one step in front of the other step, and you say to yourself, let's stop, and you can't stop, that's frustrating because you're not able to control yourself. If you're marching forward one step in front of the other step, or even if you're living in circular living and you have what I have, which is chronic pain, and it's flaring up, which it is right now, the frustration is that you can't do anything about it. And that's really the point of this discussion. Frustration, in its harshest form, is brutal. You've paid money, you've spent time, you've put forth effort, you've negotiated, you've done every type of selling job, you've done everything they say to do, and still you can't solve the problem. You can't stop the pain. It's getting worse. You can't even lower the pain. Very frustrating. Not about money. It's not about love. It's a physical thing. And if you're not a surgeon, well, put it this way, even if you were a surgeon, you can't operate on yourself. So it's very frustrating that all this happens and you can't do anything about it. It's out of your control. Now, here's the real cool rub when I said it's out of your control. There's a prayer out there, and it's a prayer about only worry about the things you control. Don't worry about the things you have no control over. Sound familiar to this situation? The frustration of a physical thing not getting better, the frustration of pain continuing is not due to anything you've done. Any of us. It's nature. It's a physical thing. And you don't have the ability, people don't have the ability to just turn it off. You can mitigate. You can intercede. You can intervene. You can have interventions done, but it's not turning it off. You can take pain medicine. You can take this type of medication. Anything you can think of doesn't turn it off. Very frustrating. So it's like a war. It is. It's like a war of pain versus no pain. And you have two warring sides. Pain knows all the secrets. The pain seat, the pain side. The side of wanting to stop the pain is like fighting with the invisible man. Is like fighting with your eyes closed and your ears unable to hear and your nose unable to smell and you're unable to talk. Basically like you're a lump dealing with it. Because whatever you throw at it doesn't matter. You understand? Because pain, this is unfortunate, but pain has an advantage over us. It's there already, number one. And the other thing is, in many cases, it's invisible. Even to a doctor, we really don't know what's causing this senior stoner. Or you get 4 different opinions, and that's scarier even than that. First answer. So what do we, now that we've uncovered this big, gnarly, horrible thing and brought it to the front called frustration, how do we deal with frustration? We deal with frustration the same way we deal with everything else. You must put one foot in front of the other foot, in front of the other foot, and keep on walking. You hit the wall, that's called frustration. You go around it, under it, over it, that's called negotiation and figuring it out. If you can't, the frustration continues, and you get more frustrated, and other things start to happen. Maybe people get angry. Maybe tension rises. Stress definitely rises because you're not accomplishing what you're trying to do. And in this case, it's trying to take pain away, and pain can make you do horrible things. I squirm like I'm on a hook sometimes, and then I realize I got to go to the bathroom. I got to whiz, and I didn't think about it because I was in such pain. So this is really important because what pain does is it takes over your autonomic response system. Pain is demanding attention. Pain is demanding you, the person who's having the pain, pay attention to it and do what it says. In many cases, it says stop cold. It says retreat. Okay? We as human beings don't like being told that. So we keep marching forward, even though the pain says stop or retreat. Marching forward. It's flawed thinking. We have to find ways to move from frustration to action, a different action. If you're frustrated over here, try over here. Think of a carpenter bee. Carpenter bee pokes around at the house. They do this a million times a day. Poke around at the houses, and when they find a spot they like, they come and they bring their friends. Similar to us. That's why it's so frustrating, because there's no playbook, there's no guidebook, there's no doctor that's going to say, hey, you know what? Just touch that spot. No. Even acupuncture, I'm sorry. Just touch that spot. In some cases, no, I'm sorry. So it's very frustrating. So the handling of frustration is equally as important as knowing what the frustration is coming from. The handling of frustration must be similar to our lifestyle, in the sense that we live a circular life. And the frustration is you're at the top of that Ferris wheel and that you can't get over. That's the first. Let's face it. Let's put it in terms we understand. You can't get over to the other side. You can't do it again. Okay, it's a frustration. Well, guess what? There are ways. Lean forward a little bit and maybe you can pull yourself over. And I'm speaking rhetorically. Put a little weight forward. Maybe you can get over. Stick your feet out. Maybe you can get over. Lean like this. Maybe you can get over. I guess what I'm saying is frustration should be like anything else we talk about. When it's frustrating, when nothing seems to move either way, that is when we turn on our strong effort and we say to ourselves, hold on a second. Let's break it down. I'm frustrated, but I'm frustrated about a lot. Let's find a little thing I'm frustrated about and see if I can't fix that thing. Think about this. Instead of trying to climb the mountain, why not try to climb 3 steps first? And if you climb 3 steps first and find you can do it without frustration, then you go to 4 steps. And if you find yourself can do it without frustration, you go to 5 steps. Instead of trying to climb the 1,000-step mountain the first time, maybe we need to adjust how we handle things so that we have less frustration, even during frustrating times. Let's take our dab and let's remember that the term frustrate, the term frustration, the term frustrated, okay, very, very significant to people like us. We cannot understate how important it is to be in touch with your frustrations. You must know them. You must understand them, because in many cases, there are ways around them. It's what we're discussing. Let's have our dab at 700 degrees. It's going to be a nice sativa dab for the morning. Banana sorbet from SoCal Dabbers. Get our day started. Cheers. Thanks for listening and watching. Remember, things in life do get frustrating. It's how we handle it that's important. Cheers.